What's up, guys? Alex here from Business and Fitness. I'm just going to do a 2015 Mr Olympia predictions. I'm just waiting for some takeaway. It's Saturday night. I got some rips and rumps on the way and they said 10:15, so I thought I'd do a quick video. I already took some notes on it. I just finished watching the prejudging replay that I found on YouTube, so thanks to whoever posted that. I'm going to go through the notable people, so only the people that I thought were worth even noting, which started at William Boniak. He kind of looks like a Kai Green V2, a little bit smaller. Great package, crazy carbs, great conditioning. I think he's definitely going to be a contender in the years to come. I think he'd be lucky if he made top 10 though this year. John De La Rosa, he's a small guy. Apparently he's a really nice guy. Now he kind of reminded me of a mini Phil Heath. From the back, he literally, I think he looked like Phil Heath maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Next to come out after that I thought was a notable was Big Ramy. Now, I've got notes down here. First, literally, this is what I've written. Absolutely fucking enormous. Incredible legs. His quad sweep is fucking absurd. Literally what I've written down. But I also noted that his legs, at least from the front, were too big for the rest of his frame, and he wasn't conditioned enough. He doesn't seem to, his abs don't really hang with the rest of his body whenever he's doing any kind of posing. Absolute crazy mass monster. What's his name? What's his face? One of the commentators, I've completely forgotten his name. Dennis James. Was noted that his he had 35.5-inch quads, which are the biggest to ever, 35.5-inch quads, which were the biggest to ever basically grace the stage, which is, it's freaking enormous. Biggest quads ever. Brandon Curry, I'm only noting him because I was quite unimpressed. He was really watery. He was a top 10 last year. Cedric McMillan actually was announced mid. Bob Ciccarello announced that Cedric McMillan was actually out sick, which sucks. He was a big kind of top 6 contender in my eyes. Has one of the most graceful, beautiful, like aesthetic mass and aesthetic physiques with mass included. And he even mentioned in press conferences that's what he wanted to do, what he wanted to achieve, and what he was going for. He said he didn't even really care about how he placed. He just wanted to bring back that old school aesthetic kind of most loved era of bodybuilding, the golden era. So that really sucks. Steve Kuclo, I thought looked better last year. I thought his conditioning was lacking. Nothing really about him popped, other than he's a good-looking dude, which might help. His placings, they were saying, the commentators were saying a lot of the females were saying he was the best looker on stage, which I don't really know if that has any bearing with judges. After him, Dennis Wolf. Dennis has definitely improved on last year. He had he probably had top 3 conditioning on stage. I think things though like his high lats and lack of basically any carbs will definitely keep him from ever winning. I feel like he's just got to have the whole package, and at that kind of level and echelon of elite athletes, you need to have everything on point all the time. In terms of conditioning, quad sweep was insane. He had basically no water anywhere ever. He was like 0% body fat. Amazing from the back. His back double bi, just from the midway up his back, well, basically because his lats sit so high and insert so high, from where they insert up to his head were just insane. The amount of mass that dude had on his bis, tris, delts, lats, traps, everything was just beautiful. And he's in my opinion, you'll see he'll be a top 3. After him, we had Shawn Roden. Now, Shawn, in my opinion, has the best physique on stage. Super tight, I have down his super tight athletic anomaly, lines from top to bottom, everything connecting, everything looks beautiful and round from all angles. Definitely an improvement on last year. And after him, and then we had also Roelly. This one wasn't in, I actually overlooked Roelly and then came back and looked at him. He had a tighter midsection than last year, and a little bit more mass and just overall roundness. I think he'll place top 6. And then last but not least, obviously we had the gift Phil Heath, who was clearly sharper than he was last year. I thought last year was probably his worst appearance ever. He made it a few notes. He literally like wiped down his abs to show that he didn't have any gut problems, because I know I think he got food poisoning last year and he had that distended prego gut. That's completely gone. He was really sharp, really the only one that has 3D, that 3D look from all sides. I think it's between him and Shawn. I don't think he's running away with it this year. I think there's so many contenders out there, and I mean, I've got my top 6, so I'm just going to round this up. It needs to be a quick video. I thought Rhoden looked better, and then when you see them side by side, you keep looking at Phil. He had the confidence on stage, which definitely helps. He has that 3D look. His arms and tris just don't make sense. Aesthetically, I think his abs aren't as visually appealing as Shawn Roden's. I prefer Roden's body, but this is what I think is actually going to happen. when you have them all, they had the call-outs and they had the top 6 up there. This is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to have 1, Phil Heath. I think he's going to make it 5 in a row, first time since Ronnie Coleman. I think Shawn Roden's going to come in 2nd. I think Wolf will come in 3rd, followed very closely. I think there's going to be like a point in it between Wolf and Dexter. By the way, sorry, I don't know how I overlooked Dexter here. Dexter looked fucking insane. Super lean for 43. I think he's done like 16 Mr. Olympias in a row, which is that's a record in the Olympia stage. He is by far the most consistent bodybuilder around. He always looks on point, which I think is why I overlooked him. He's never off, so you never really feel like you need to comment on anything. He always looks good. He won the Arnolds this year, you know, so all the power to him. So I think it's going to be 1, Phil Heath, 2, Shawn Roden, 3, Dennis Wolf, 4, Dexter Jackson. I had Big Ramy coming in at 5 just because he's 315 pounds on stage. You just can't overlook him. He's just enormous. And then I think we have 6, Roelly Winklaar coming in, so that'll bump him up a bit. So anyway, guys, there's my Mr. Olympia 2015 prejudging predictions for the finals. Leave your top 6 predictions in the comment section below, and I'll catch up with you next week. See you guys.